What's up? This is Johnny Clegg, all the way from South Africa. I'm going to be answering some questions for the Efficacy series. So I just want to send a shout out to Fiona Bloom and the Bloom Effect. Okay, here we go. The biggest highlight of my career so far, I think, is having my second album produced by David Bottrill. I was a huge fan of his even before I worked with him. He was someone who produced some of my favorite bands growing up, from Muse to Tool to Placebo. And yeah, when you're an angry young teen, you know, those are all the bands you used to listen to. So it was really cool to be able to work with him and to kind of get into the mind of someone who was, you know, one of the creators of those albums and that kind of music. So yeah, I felt really honored to be working with him. Another thing was just having my songs chart in the top 10 in South Africa. You know, I've had 4 top 10 singles in South Africa, and it's just really amazing when lots of people are listening to your music and you're kind of connecting on a large scale. You know, you feel like something you're doing is being related to by people and it's having an impact. So yeah, I suppose those are the biggest highlights for me right now, and I mean, there's been so many, but those are the ones that stand out. You know, I've been in Toronto for the last few months, so I'm listening to a lot of Canadian music at the moment. A really awesome band that I've just been telling everyone about is a band called Imaginary Cities, who I just am a huge fan of, and I've watched them live a few times, and yeah, I really love them. Another cool band that I saw is the Besnard Lakes, also a Canadian band, really cool. Trying to think, you know, I kind of hear music all the time, and I kind of just listen to it as much as I can, and it's just always moving. You know, I try to listen to as much new music as possible. I heard another cool band called Garden and Villa, a song called Black Hills, which I really like. Yeah. I'm inspired by life, you know, my own story, other people's stories, the phase that I'm going through at the moment, you know, my environment. Often other art inspires me. You know, if I go see a really good movie or I read a good book, you know, it just provokes some kind of thoughts, and yeah, I end up writing a song. You know, but it's all very sort of subconscious. You're never really conscious of it. It kind of just happens as you go. My first album I wrote when I was, you know, a teenager. I wrote my first song when I was 15, 16, and I never wrote that album with any intention of recording it or becoming a musician or releasing it or anything, you know. And eventually I stumbled into it, and when I eventually did manage to get it released, you know, the first single went straight to #1 in South Africa on the radio charts, and it was such a surprise to me. It was such a shock, especially because, you know, I never intended to ever go down this road, and now I was suddenly getting some kind of connection with people, you know. And you know, here I am 5 years later, having done my second album and having made this my career. So I think that moment for me was just really important, just in terms of my own confidence and my own feeling of wanting to do this. I like my food extra spicy. I try to collect as many different chili sauces as I can. So even if the food tastes amazing without spice, it always needs a bit more spice. I would probably just indulge myself in really cool looking guitars and nothing else. I guess Tom York from Radiohead would be someone that I would really love to work with. I've listened to Radiohead my whole life, and I think they're one of the most amazing bands, just because they're so consistent and they are always experimenting, they're always pushing themselves, and they challenge their fans to understand what they do. You know, they have a lot of integrity, a lot of discipline, and I respect that. So if I ever got to work with Tom York, that would be amazing. My favorite phone app would probably just be all the games that I have on my phone. I've suddenly become a serious phone gamer. I spend hours every day playing on my phone. The game that I'm currently playing is Kingdom Rush, and yeah, it's a really awesome game. So if you're looking for a good game, check it out. I guess it's hard to give any kind of meaningful advice because music is such an unpredictable career choice. There's no predefined ladder or structure that you can climb or kind of work towards, but I think it's good to enjoy yourself. There's a lot of fun moments, and it's good to remember why you're doing it, enjoy the music, enjoy making music, and I guess don't take no for an answer. Just keep pushing. You know, I think the person who makes it is the person who knocks on the door the longest. Alright guys, that's it. Thanks for listening. I'm heading to New York in 2 days, so I'll see you guys in New York.